Today we're going to be talking about anime. Actually, we're not talking, we're talking about Sinbad from Maji, okay? Hello, welcome to Psyche's Thoughts. My name is Elizabeth. I had to take a deep breath because, like, he stresses me out, but we're going to get there. Sorry, my lips are chapped. I'm literally in the middle of eating. I had to film this right now, but my name is Elizabeth. This is Psyche's Thoughts. You're here. I'm here. Sorry, sometimes I forget what I'm doing. You're here. I'm here. We're both here because it's my channel. And I've decided on this channel I'm going to share a random thought every day because why not? Why not? Right? And so today we're talking about Sinbad. We're talking about, but before I even get there, Maji the Labyrinth of Magic is my favorite anime. It's not only my favorite anime, it's my favorite manga. I've read the manga twice. I've watched the anime like 5 times. I've Sinbad and Boykin, all of that. I was reading the manga in real time, as in like the last 3 arcs. I was there. Okay? I was there for it all. And lately, I've been seeing some Maji edits, some Sinbad edits, right? And Sinbad's is a very popular character, interestingly enough. Maji was a very popular anime, but whenever you go into the comments of Sinbad edits on TikTok specifically, a lot of people talk about how this is gojo before there was a gojo. Like, when we're talking about anime characters that get glazed in universe, like, this is like, he's like gojo before there was gojo. And it disturbs my spirit when people say that, because Sinbad is nothing like gojo. Sinbad is nothing like gojo. Derogatory. Like, Sinbad is actually wicked. Like, he's actually a wicked person, guys. Like, he's actually a wicked person, and he's so powerful. The way the amount of, like, hate I have for Sinbad is so, like, visceral. Like, just seeing Sinbad's face, like, it invokes, like, a level of bile that it's not healthy. Whenever I think of Sinbad, I think of that one Kanye tweet, like, during his various rants. Like, this is before he went cuckoo gaga like Hitler, but, like, that Kanye tweet where he's running around like he's Pac? That's what I think of every time I think of Sinbad. Sinbad was running around that universe like he was and I actually had to create a list because he's a disturbing person. He's a freak. Like, oh my. Okay. Yeah, dude, I don't understand the Sinbad and Gojo comparisons because, like, Gojo's great, Gojo's strong, right? He's like, singularity, right? No, Sinbad is decent. Like, oh my gosh. When Sinbad was born into the world, there was such a shift in the atmosphere that every single Maji felt it when he was born. And if you watch Sinbad no Boykin, you've seen this. When Sinbad was born, we saw every single Maji like, what is that? Who is that? Could it be? Excuse me, that's a baby. That's a baby. That's how you know. That's how you know. Sinbad was born different. And it's like, all from the very beginning, Sinbad had this, like, knowing that, like, okay, I need to calm down. Sinbad, I think a lot of people brush over the fact that Sinbad's lust for power, his sheer lust for power was so great that they had to ban that nigga from conquering. They had to ban him from. They said you can't have anymore. They said I don't think you understand. Who needs 7 Jin? Did we? We didn't even see Sinbad use all 7. I think it's well, okay. Like, did we? I fail to remember if we saw him get all 7 in Sinbad No Way Again. Who needs 7? Who who needs 7 Jin? Who needed 7 Jin in that universe? Tell me. He didn't even. I don't even feel like he needed that many. It was so bad. They had to ban that nigga. They literally said, Sinbad, you can't. And by the way, this is gonna have spoilers. If I don't know what to tell you. If in 2026 you don't want to get spoiled for Magi, I don't know what to tell you. The manga been done. The anime not coming back, unfortunately. Anyway, they said you can't conquer no more dungeons. They said if you walk in the dungeon, you're gonna walk right out of it. You're not allowed. You're barred. They barred him from dungeons. They barred him from. Okay, I'm just. Okay. I don't. I think the part that really pisses me off about Sinbad is like he's like, okay. When did I realize that Sinbad was a wicked nigga? We're actually gonna no. That's gonna be the last thing I talk about. Every time ever since he's been introduced, every time like Sinbad like fought somebody, they had to glaze him for like 2 minutes. They had to glaze him for like 2. They're like, oh, don't tell me he's on the way. Oh no. Remember? Okay, if you watch the anime, season 2. Yes, it was season 2. Was it season 2 or season 1? It was season 2. No, season 2. I think it was like no, because it was after the Kasim arc when Hakuya came on board, and they was like he has to go. They had Hakuya and them, Hakuya, Alibaba, Morge, Yana, and Aladdin and them. They went to go get Zapal because Sinbad. They remember something happened to Sinbad, and he was like he had the rook all in his body, the poison in his body, and then Amataran, yes, Amataran pulled up on him. That one guy from Amataran pulled up on him. And he was fighting the guy from Alban and they were trying to get Sinbad to fall into depravity. Yes, and this, it's gonna sound like I'm glazing him. I literally hate him, but like I have to respect. He's so strong that like I can't even. I have to respect him. Like I have to respect the amount of strength he has. Like transcends the amount of hate I have for. Anyway, they were trying to get him to fall into depravity. And Sinbad was fighting him. And they were like, don't tell me you're already halfway fallen. And as Sinbad was beating him, this guy started to get so mad. He was like, why does somebody like you even exist in this? Why? They started questioning his existence. Like, why are you even over here? What are you doing here? Because what is he like? What? This is so, when you think about like, I feel like a lot of his shows have that character that is just like so ridiculously stronger than everybody else that it's like, but I don't know, like Sinbad is just one of the ones that is just like, it triggers me. I don't know, he triggers me. And I think the part that I think triggers me is that I fell for the okie doke. I fell for the okie doke because when I was watching and reading Magi, I was literally the same age that like Aladdin was. I was like 14, 15, keeping up with Magi, right? Because Magi, when did Magi finish? Magi finished before I hit 9th grade. Magi finished like summer of 8th, going into 9th grade, I think. Did it finish that early? Magi been done, right? So when I was young, and I was like, it's something weird about Sinbad. But I'm rocking with him because, they rocking with him. I'm just a naive little girl who's just now getting familiar with media literacy. When Sinbad, this is the part that I knew he was a truly a wicked individual. When Sinbad, it had to be season 2. When Kyugoku came to Syndria and she fought him, right? And he used what Jin was that? Bapal? I don't remember, but it was the kid one. He used the kid Jin, screamed, knocked her out. And we're like, oh, okay, he just got like a sonic boom. Then you read the manga. You read the manga and you get to the Cold War arc. You get to the arc and you find out he actually was using her. He put something inside of her body. He put something inside of that little girl body that he was using to not only collect information, but to one day be able to control her body and use her against her own country. Oh, that was deliciously evil. That was delicious. That's when I knew I had to hate him. Like, I had to hate him off the strength of, like, why would you, for a war that you, for a war you had no, that wasn't even his, okay, that wasn't even his business, by the way. He just did that for the love of the game. Like, he did that for the love of the game. He did that for, like, he did that for the love of the game. Like, they would have won that war. He did that for the love of the game. Anyway, okay. And it's crazy because there's this one conversation in the anime that Sinbad has with Jafar. Mind you, him and Jafar are like this. They done been through everything. Jafar was there when Sinbad was like, you know, Jafar witnessed it all. You know, when Sinbad was a slave, all that. To this point, and he's talking to Jafar, and he's like, Jafar, do you think that I've become a devious person? Yes, you freak. Ooh, I want to cuss so bad. Yes. And Jafar was genuinely sad. Like, he was like, yes, you've become a wicked person. You've become devious, evil. But I'm rocking with you because. And I think that's the part. That's the part that really frustrates me. Like, he genuinely was able to run around like he was Pac because he was Sinbad. Like, everybody had like this undying loyalty to him, and obviously the people like his generals, they had to have that undying loyalty to him because they were with him when he built Sindria from the ground up. But everybody else just let Sinbad freaking rock. Like, they just let him like cook like. They waited till like the very last arc, and I understand. I know better than anybody that arc was rushed, and I wish that Shinobu Otaka had a longer time to really flesh out Sinbad becoming the last villain of the manga, because I liked his ending. I felt like it was a very fitting ending for a character like Sinbad, but I wanted it to be fleshed out a little bit more. I wanted the conflicts and the battles between him and him and Aladdin, him and, you know, I wanted those fights to be longer. I hated seeing Ugo go out sad. Speaking of mangas, manga Sinbad, they let this post time skip. They let Sinbad convince everybody to lock up. Mind you, he has 7 of them Johns. Everybody else had 1, maybe 2. They said, yeah, guys, we're not going to use these no more. Lock them up. And everybody went like that. Everybody went. Everybody went. Nobody fought. Nobody was like... No. Like, they just let Sinbad do things. They just let Sinbad run the like, what? Okay. The craziest twist, again, I'm saying, the craziest twist was when we found out David was inside Sinbad for like a long time. When we found out David was inside Sinbad, and David thought he was running Sinbad when Sinbad was running him. And then when they got to the sacred place, and that was the craziest. When they got to the sacred place and they was like, where's David at? And you see David in the fish tank playing. Oh my God. I looked at Sinbad like, You're a what? What? No. So when people compare him to Gojo, I'm like, no. No, Gojo can't. Gojo, like, that's like, I wouldn't say Gojo's like coughing baby. Like, Gojo is strong, but he's not, he's not tapped like Sinbad is. Like, Sinbad is, he's wired different. Do you understand? There are wires in his brain that are not supposed, like, he's not. Why does he even, like, he's not supposed, I genuinely, like, where did he, like, I could go on about Maji for ages, but I'm gonna stop there with Sinbad because I just can't. Um, if you are also an avid fan of Maji, let me know how you feel about Sinbad because I feel like a lot of, I don't know, I'm not, I used to be really into the fandom and stuff like that when I was a kid, but I still don't, I feel like a lot of people, the people that talk about Sinbad, they just talk about him more so from like a power scaling sense and not necessarily like the nature of his character. How do you guys feel about Sinbad? Let me know. This is probably like the longest video I have so far. Anyways, if you want to see more of me, you can see more of me on the channel. In this corner, there'll be a link to that. I'm also a writer, so you can see me write on psychestats.com. Yes. What else? What else? My head hurts. I'm about to go back to eating my shit. I have a beautiful Chipotle bowl. Guys, I spent the last month in Africa. This is my first time eating like food that's not from the house since I've been back. I've been back like 2-3 weeks, I think. This, I can't even describe to you the like level of decadence that this Chipotle bowl, like, it's like, anyway. If you're watching this at night, have a good night. If you're watching this at any other time, have a good time. If you want to see me talk about anime more, we can do that because I do watch One Piece. And actually, before I even started Random Thoughts, I wanted to start talking about One Piece on here. So if you want to hear me talk about One Piece, we can do that. If you want to hear me talk about any other anime, let me know and I'll see if I will watch it. Bye bye.